colleague is pregnant and her mother-in-law cooks instant noodles for her every day. Out of goodwill, I brought her meals for the entire pregnancy, and the way she repaid me was by introducing me to her divorced old father as a potential second wife. She said, "You love cooking, so once we're family, you'll have meals to prepare every day." After I refused, she directly drove her car and knocked me flying. When I woke up again, I was back before I first brought food to Zhao Panner. There were still 10 minutes before the morning meeting, so I rubbed my hands and opened the lunchbox. Mom would prepare nutritious breakfasts for me every day, always changing the variety. Wow, today it's shrimp cakes and sandwiches, so fragrant. Just a few bites in, Zhao Panner came up pitifully. "Bai Shui, can you finish this breakfast? If not, could you share some with me?" Seeing my puzzled expression, she added, "I'm pregnant, and this is the time when I need to supplement my nutrition, but my mother-in-law only knows how to cook instant noodles. I feel like I'm never full, and I'm always weak." Only knows how to cook instant noodles. Who would believe that? Her mother-in-law either wants to be lazy or is trying to control her during her pregnancy. I looked up, my expression dazed. Those humiliating and painful scenes came flooding back. In my previous life, I was overly compassionate and brought her meals for several months. So what happened? She tricked me into going to her house and forced me to become her stepmother. She even told me, although my dad is old, he knows how to take care of people. Anyway, since you love cooking so much, marry my dad and you'll have endless meals to prepare every day. What are you pretending to be innocent for? If you weren't afraid of not getting married, would you be showing off your cooking skills at work every day? I won't be eating your food for free for months. I'll just let you be my stepmom. Take good care of the child in my belly and our whole family, and then give us a son. My dad will love you even more." I refused and took off running. She and her father caught me, assaulted me, and tried to force me into submission by making it a done deal. I took advantage of the dark and windy night to escape again. Seeing that I wouldn't yield to either soft or hard tactics, they feared I would run out and call the police, drive straight and crash me into the ditch on their family's land. When my parents found my body, they were so enraged that they fainted on the spot. Zhao Panner, however, casually taunted, "You city folks can only be cremated and turned to ashes. It's better to arrange a ghost marriage in our village. Not only will you have a place to be buried, but you can also earn several tens of thousands of yuan." My parents couldn't take it anymore and started fighting with them. They decided to go all out and pushed my parents into the ditch as well, and so our family of 3 perished in the wilderness because of my unnecessary sympathy. Shaking off the terrifying memories of my past life, I leisurely packed up the lunchbox. "I'm sorry, but I don't like others eating my food." Zhao Panner's face stiffened, and the corners of her eyes immediately reddened. "But you clearly can't finish it all. Every day you bring a lunchbox, and you throw half of it away. I just don't want you to waste food, and I'm carrying a baby in my belly. Since we work in the same office, you're practically her stepmother. How can you bear to let your own daughter go hungry?" My voice grew even colder. "Sorry, I don't have the habit of casually being a mother to others." Zhao Panner was left speechless by my retort, shrinking to the side and sobbing uncontrollably. Someone couldn't stand it anymore and shouted at me, "Bai Shui, you're too harsh." I turned my head. This person was none other than Lu Lin, the colleague who kicked us while we were down in the office after my family died in my previous life. This Lu Lin, I always brought her fruits and snacks to work, and this is how she repays me. After our family was killed by Zhao Panner, she was the first to spread vile rumors. Bai Shui's promiscuity was always obvious, even seducing a 70-year-old man. Shameless, she deserved to die. Poor Panner still treated her like a sister, yet she wanted to be someone's stepmother. Greed knows no bounds. What kind of daughter is there? What kind of parents are there? Maybe her parents taught her that way at home. The moment I thought about how my parents were killed in my previous life, and I was still insulted and slandered by people like Lu Lin, it felt like 10,000 needles piercing my heart. In this life, Zhao Panner, Lu Lin, none of you will have an easy time. The 2 lotus-faced bitches made me eat half as much. I took out the leftover food and clattered it into the trash can. Lu Lin exclaimed in shock, "Bai Shui, what are you doing? Panner hasn't eaten yet. Who allowed you to throw it away?" I forced a polite smile. "I brought the food. I can do whatever I want with it." Zhao Panner's voice was full of grievance. Lin, Sister Shui definitely didn't mean it. It must be that I did something wrong and upset Sister Shui. Maybe in a few days, once she's vented her anger, she'll be willing to share the leftovers with me. Listen, just listen to how considerate and understanding that sounds. It only makes me look even more like a beast. Well, I can't let down those 2 words, so I pouted and Said word by word, "You'll never get a single bite of my food for the rest of your life." When Zhao Panna heard my response, she instantly broke down, and big teardrops fell down one after another. Lu Lin quickly shielded her behind herself, speaking with righteous indignation. "Bai Shui, don't go too far. Panna is pregnant, and pregnant women can't cry excessively. If anything happens to the baby in her belly, you'll be a murderer. Bai Shui, I order you to apologize to Panna immediately." "This is hilarious. Who do you think you are? I brought my own food, so how I handle it is none of your business. Can't stand it. Tomorrow, I'll bring extra just to have leftovers to feed the big yellow dog at the gate. I'm afraid even the dog might not want this handout." Speaking of which, Lu Lin, you and Zhao Panna were hired together, so you must have a deep bond. How about you start bringing food for Zhao Panna from now on? After saying this, I deliberately gave Zhao Panna a sarcastic glance. Lu Lin hadn't expected that the usual pushover me would be unyielding today. She muttered softly, "I can't cook, how can I bring it? Besides, you're always decked out in gold and silver, so the meals must be made by your family's nanny. If making for one person is done, making for two is also done. What's wrong with taking care of a pregnant woman?" As she spoke, Lu Lin's voice suddenly rose. "I just don't have money. If I had money, I would definitely hire a nanny. Specifically to take care of Pan Air, unlike you, who are rich but heartless." Hearing Lu Lin's righteous words, Zhao Panna wiped away her tears and continued to play the victim. "It's okay, Sister Lin Lin. Bai Shui isn't married yet, so her family must spoil her. She doesn't know how hard it is for us married women. Not only does my husband earn little money working out of town, but I also have to endure my mother-in-law's constant nagging at home, surviving on instant noodles every day." I couldn't help but burst out laughing. "With your in-laws being like that, you still gave them a child. Do you have some kind of leverage in their hands? Besides, you're pregnant, not disabled. Can't you cook for yourself? And our monthly salary is enough for you to order takeout for every meal, isn't it?" Between cooking for yourself and spending money on takeout, you actually chose to beg for food. Zhao Panna, hurt by my words, covered her face and tried to run away, but Lu Lin grabbed her and pulled her back. "Bai Shui, watch your words. You're still unmarried at such an age, and you don't realize it's because your mouth is too vicious." I couldn't even be bothered to lift my eyelids. "Ah, yes, I'm vicious. Since you're so righteous, you'll surely use part of your salary to order takeout for Zhao Panna in our office, who's too delicate to take care of herself, right?" Lu Lin's neck flushed red with anger. I continued to fan the flames, batting my innocent big eyes as I retorted, No way. No way. Could it be that Sister Lu Lin is talking?" Without feeling the pain, closing her eyes and being generous with someone else's resources, under the gaze of the onlookers, Lu Lin finally couldn't hold back and loudly responded, "Everyone listen, from now on, I will take care of Panna's pregnancy diet. The company is a place of love, not a place of reason. I'm not like some people who are mean and stingy, lacking in love." Hearing Lu Lin say that, I immediately gently took Zhao Panna's hand. Sweetly I said, "Panna, now you don't have to worry about always eating instant noodles and lacking nutrition. From now on, just tell Lu Lin what you want to eat, and she'll satisfy you." Seeing me change faces so quickly, Lu Lin viciously slapped my arm away. "It was my money that paid for Panna's meal. What right do you have to act like the good person here?" I smiled even more sweetly. "If I hadn't refused to let her eat leftovers, would you have had the chance to step in and take charge of all her meals during her pregnancy? You?" Lu Lin was so furious she felt like her lungs were about to explode. "I've never seen someone as shameless as you." Watching the two of them walk out hand in hand, I happily hummed a little tune. "You two are perfect for each other. Just don't come and ruin my life." The company organized a team-building event over the weekend and handed out movie tickets. I was happily munching on popcorn when an annoying voice came from beside me. "Snow White, what a coincidence, our seats are next to each other." Seeing that I didn't respond to her, she casually took a small pinch of popcorn from my paper cup. "Munch, munch, munch. I really envy you, not married yet, the only child in the family, and your parents dote on you so much, not like me." As she spoke, Zhao Panna began to sob. "I grew up with divorced parents, and after much effort, I finally got a job, but I didn't marry into a good family, and even when I was pregnant, I wasn't treated well. Even my own father didn't stand up for me." Here she goes again. In my previous life, she constantly played the victim in front of me. Not only did I bring her meals and buy her clothes, but I even took over most of her work. My good-natured behavior not only failed to earn any gratitude but instead led her to deceive me into going to a remote mountain village, where I was forced to marry her father as his second wife. Thinking of this, I was filled with anger. Your misfortune isn't my fault. Why are you telling me all this? If things are really that bad, you could consider terminating the pregnancy or getting a divorce. She was taken aback, clearly not expecting me to suddenly change my attitude. The tone was filled with a sob as she touched her stomach. Bai Shui, how can you say such things? This is a living life. Her deliberately raised voice drew everyone's attention. I rolled my eyes to the heavens, typical of a white lotus, always resorting to the same old tricks. All right, today I'll take this opportunity to tear apart that hypocritical act. You're not carrying my family's child, and there are plenty of well-off colleagues. Do you expect everyone to be your personal cash cow to bleed dry? You said it yourself, even your dad won't back you up. Should I go ask your mother-in-law why she's feeding her pregnant daughter-in-law instant noodles every day? I don't even know you that well, so why do you keep coming to me to cry your woes? Everyone turned to look at us. Zhao Panyu's face turned the color of a pig's liver. Bai Shui, that's too much. Lu Lin quickly shielded Zhao Panyu behind her. She considered you a friend and confided in you about her difficulties. How could you publicly rub salt in someone else's wounds like that? All right, another lotus spirit has arrived. I stood up and announced loudly, don't just focus on the movie, everyone. Let's give a round of applause for our company's outstanding employee, Lu Lin. Zhao Panner's in-laws are mistreating a pregnant woman, only feeding Zhao Panner instant noodles. Lu Lin can't stand it and has decided to take care of Zhao Panner's entire pregnancy diet. Everyone, bear witness to this. After saying that, I led the applause. It was already hard enough for everyone to come out and watch a movie on the weekend, yet we were forced to endure Lu Lin's moral coercion. Complaints filled the air. What is this? She makes us work overtime during the day, and now she won't even let us have peace after work. If she wants to be a sucker in secret, let her be. What? Should the whole company chip in to get her a banner of praise? She just loves to show off. Exactly. If she wants to meddle in other people's business, she shouldn't drag everyone else into it. What does Zhao Panner being abused by her in-laws have to do with us? We're not her parents. Lu Lin never expected that not only would she fail to earn a good reputation, but she would also end up making Zhao Panner disliked by everyone. My lungs were about to explode with anger. I grabbed Zhao Panner and headed straight out the door. Seeing the fleeting hatred in Zhao Panner's eyes, I was overjoyed. Zhao Panner just wanted to play the victim to gain sympathy, to find a few wealthy people at the workplace to leech off of, but with Lu Lin causing such a scene, she had no choice but to accept Lu Lin's meager help, so of course, she hated her. It's Monday again, time to go to work. The branch company leader suddenly arrived and specifically asked for Lu Lin. Comrade Lu Lin, at such a young age, you were able to say, the company is a place for love, not for reasoning. This shows how deeply you understand our company's corporate culture. I heard you even took out part of your salary to help a pregnant colleague. Truly remarkable. The leader's praise left Lu Lin so excited she couldn't find her bearings, but she still put on an expression that suggested I was willing, and replied, we're all part of the same company. I've long considered my colleagues as my own brothers and sisters. Helping colleagues is only natural. Only by not caring about personal gains and losses can we warm our colleagues, unite in friendship, and ensure the company's long-term operation. The branch company leader looked a bit awkward but still nodded symbolically. Then, Lu Lin was called into the office. Seeing them walk away, Wu Yang, curious, brought up a video from the company group chat. Sis, look at this video. He played it, and the video showed the part where I called on all my colleagues to applaud Lu Lin for generously helping Zhao Panner. Judging by the angle, it must have been Lu Lin herself directing someone else to film it for her. Wu Yang curled his lip. She really knows how to stir up trouble. I smiled without saying a word. Whether it's a blessing or a curse is hard to tell. Before long, Lu Lin returned, her face unable to conceal her smugness. She even deliberately waved the banner in her hand, speaking with a sarcastic tone. Since we all work in the same office, some people would rather throw away their meals than help Panner. If she had any compassion, wouldn't the leader have awarded her the banner by now? I cleared my throat and teased, so, the leader must have given you a raise, right? At my question, Lu Lin's smile froze in midair, and her face turned ashen in an instant. You guys are just that petty for the rest of your lives, I spat out, leaving with a bitter resentment. After figuring out what had happened, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. In my previous life, it was this branch leader who, after hearing about my deeds of helping a pregnant woman, proposed to transfer a third of my salary to Zhao Panner's account, then he presented me with a banner and painted a grand picture of future promotions for me. As a result, Zhao Panner didn't get to eat the big pie he had painted even after she had been killed by him. This time, he repeated the same trick, and Lu Lin became the scapegoat. Wu Yang, innocently caught in the crossfire, complained indignantly. "It's just a banner, what's there to be proud of? We're here to work, not to do charity. It's bad enough to be PUA'd by the boss at work, but now we have to deal with this kind of fussy colleague who speaks in riddles." I patted the young man on the shoulder to comfort him. "Don't rush, the best is yet to come. It's hot in summer, so I brought some cooling fruits to work." In my previous life, Lu Lin was always overly familiar, insisting on trying every expensive fruit I brought, and then packing up what she couldn't finish to send to Zhao Panner. Every time I went to the bathroom, all the fruits and snacks on the table would be gone. This time, I simply distributed the fruits and snacks to the other colleagues, intentionally not leaving any for Zhao Panner and Lu Lin. Then I kindly asked Zhao Panner, "I heard that during pregnancy, you need to eat more fruits to supplement vitamins. I wonder if Lu Lin has been buying you fruits regularly." After hearing my words, Zhao Panner looked at Lu Lin with anticipation. Suddenly being mentioned, Lu Lin looked displeased. "You bring so many fruits every day, and they're all imported. Why don't you give some to Panner?" I spread my hands. "All the fruits I brought are cold in nature, which is not good for pregnant women. Pregnant women need to eat pure, natural, and harmless green vegetables and fruits. Besides, it's not me who got a banner from the leader and a promise of promotion." Lu Lin was almost in tears. "I've already given her a third of my salary, and now I have to bring her meals every day, and now I have to buy her imported, pure natural fruits. Where am I supposed to get that kind of money? Don't I need to live too?" I shrugged. "You said it yourself, the company is a place of love, not a place of reason. Besides, pregnant women are supposed to eat more fruit." I turned to Wu Yang for confirmation. I clearly heard Lu Lin say she would take care of Panner's pregnancy diet. Did I mishear? Wu Yang, still simmering from the last indiscriminate attack by Lu Lin, was holding a grudge. I immediately retorted to Lu Lin with righteous indignation, "Aren't you the one who boasts about having a big picture? Turns out it's all just empty talk. You're using caring for pregnant women as a pretext to gain attention from your superiors." Zhao Panner stared at the fruit in her colleague's hand, swallowed hard, and then turned to Lu Lin with a pitiful expression. "Sister Lin Lin, the baby in my belly wants some fruit. Could you go buy some for me, please? After all, taking advantage of someone is taking advantage. If I can't take advantage of others, I can only keep squeezing Lu Lin for all she's worth." Lu Lin could only swallow her anger. "Let's go, we'll buy it right now." With that, she pulled Zhao Panner and stormed out. I couldn't help but loudly remind them, "Panner, remember to buy pure, natural, imported ones. Pesticides are bad for the baby." Watching the two of them quicken their pace as they left, I couldn't have been more delighted. "Lu Lin, weren't you the one who was best at standing on the moral high ground and calling the shots in your past life? This time, it's your turn to be Zhao Panner's blood bag." I can't wait to see how Zhao Panner will show her gratitude to you. One day, my boyfriend and I were walking past an overpass while shopping. Unexpectedly, I saw Lu Lin setting up a street stall. After asking around, I found out, as the months went by, Zhao Panner's appetite grew bigger and bigger. It's not that she eats a lot, but aside from eating and drinking every day, Zhao Panner would also pester Lu Lin to buy her designer clothes, bags, skincare products. Lu Lin had no choice but to set up a stall after work and take on side gigs, just to barely cover Zhao Panner's expenses. But Zhao Panner was not the type to be easily satisfied. Sure enough, that day I wore a limited edition necklace my boyfriend had bought from abroad. When Zhao Panner saw it, she insisted on pestering Lu Lin to buy one for her. Lu Lin, with a sullen face, scolded her harshly. "What necklace are you wearing as a pregnant woman? If it weren't for me supporting you every day, you'd still be that pitiful person who can only afford instant noodles 3 times a day. Tell me, who bought your nutrient meals, imported fruits, pregnancy skincare, and anti-radiation clothes? I couldn't bear to eat or spend on myself, yet now you're becoming more and more demanding." Zhao Panner stopped pretending to be pitiful and instead puffed out her belly, speaking with righteous indignation. "If it weren't for me, would the boss give you a banner and promise you a promotion and a raise? Spending some money on me is only right and fair, and it's because you always act so high and mighty, like you're doing me a favor, that everyone in the company looks down on me and isolates me. If it weren't for you, Sister Bai Shui might have shared her good stuff with me, considering I'm pregnant." Upon hearing Zhao Panner's ungrateful remarks, Lu Lin was so furious that her mouth twisted. How could I pass up such a perfect opportunity to pour oil on the flames? I quickly stepped forward to strongly condemn Lu Lin. Panner is right, Lu Lin, you can't be more generous than anyone else when it comes to gaining a reputation. Now Panner just wants a necklace. It's not an unreasonable request. How can you be so stingy? Besides, wearing a necklace can make a pregnant woman feel better, which is also beneficial for the baby. It's a necessity. Lu Lin was left speechless, her face turning green with frustration. At that moment, Wu Yang also stepped forward to add fuel to the fire. Sister Lin Lin, I heard that the branch leader will come to our department for an assessment next month. What if he accidentally finds out about you abusing Painter during your pregnancy? Do you think he might get so angry that he'll cancel his promise to promote and raise your salary? I chuckled. Good lad, you know how to hit where it hurts. Watching Lu Lin in a fluster, I snorted coldly. This is just the beginning. In my previous life, I worked almost non-stop all year round to help Zhao Panna with her workload during her pregnancy. I didn't even have time to watch the concert of my favorite band when they came to our city. This time, my boyfriend bought the tickets, taking advantage of the Mid-Autumn Festival holiday. We came to the concert venue. The scene before me was one of boiling excitement and cheers, and I happily shouted and cheered. Just as the fireworks overhead faded, I saw my own face on the big screen, and Zhao Panna and Lu Lin beside me. Damn it, they're like a curse that won't go away. Sister Bai Shui, what a coincidence, you're also here for the concert. Zhao Panna was heavily made up, not showing a hint of being pregnant. Ah, is this your boyfriend? Sister, you have great taste. Gao Ji politely greeted both of them. Are you Xiaoshu as colleagues? Seeing Zhao Panna's slightly protruding pregnant belly, Gao Ji offered. I have a seat here. Zhao Panna didn't stand on ceremony and sat down right away. Sister Bai Shui, your boyfriend is so good to you. Their band's tickets are really hard to get. Brother must have spent a lot of money to get a seat ticket. As she spoke, her expression grew dim. I really envy Sister Bai Shui to have such a loving boyfriend. Unlike me, even when I'm pregnant, all I can eat is instant noodles. Gao Ji, excuse me. He maintained a polite smile on his face, but as soon as the two of them weren't paying attention, he quickly leaned in to whisper in my ear, Xiaoshu, does your colleague have some kind of serious illness? Ha ha ha. I certainly understood my boyfriend's frustration, but I could only pat his hand in consolation. Instead, it was Lu Lin who, after seeing my boyfriend's polite gesture, seemed to see an opportunity to make me uncomfortable and began to insinuate. The handsome guy looks quite accomplished, but do be sure to keep your eyes open and not get deceived. Even a stranger knows to give up their seat for a pregnant woman, but do you know, Bai Shui at the company would rather feed her leftover food to a dog than share a bit with a pregnant woman who eats instant noodles every day. Who would marry such a heartless woman? Their life would be ruined. Seeing the complex look in my boyfriend's eyes, Lu Lin couldn't hide the smugness on her face. Xiaoshu, is what she said true? I nodded without fully understanding the situation. Then I heard him speak to me in an unhappy tone. Oh my God, honey, how could you have such wicked colleagues? One who loves to play the victim to someone else's boyfriend, and another who specializes in sowing discord and being sarcastic. What, are you not satisfied with the concert and want to set up your own stage to perform? I'm really worried about your mental state every day. You might as well quit your job. I'll support you. We don't need the measly salary from that company. It's not even enough to compensate for the mental damage. Lu Lin and Zhao Panna were initially full of anticipation, eager to watch the drama unfold, but the more they listened, the more they felt something was off. People around them also started to look over. However, passers-by weren't about to indulge her. Even with a big belly, you can't settle down, spreading nonsense and trying to ruin someone else's relationship. What? Are you thinking that since they broke up, you can marry her now, as the old saying goes? Birds of a feather flock together, a pair of green tea spirits. What bad luck. Seeing the situation turn sour, Zhao Panna loudly defended herself. It's not like that. I just saw how good their relationship was and expressed my own feelings of envy. There was absolutely no other meaning. After saying that, she grabbed Lu Lin's hand. My friend didn't mean to sow discord. She just speaks her mind a bit too bluntly. I apologize on her behalf to everyone. Now Lu Lin became the target of everyone's criticism, with even the children keeping their distance from her. Lu Lin, furious, forcefully pulled her hand away from Zhao Panna. What do you mean? It was you who saw Bai Shui's ticket and got jealous, insisting that I accompany you to the concert. Now you're joining them in ganging up on me. Zhao Panna's face fell. You were the one willing to spend the money. Why do you always blame me for it? My boyfriend listened to their never-ending grievances, shook his head, and quickly pulled me away. After all, if he didn't have some ability to spot a tea master, I wouldn't be with him, leaving the two green teas to tear each other apart in the crowd. I thought that was ironic enough, only to later find out that I had left too early. I missed a major century-defining drama. When I arrived at the company on Monday, I found that neither of them had come to work. After some inquiries, I found out Zhao Panner's father from the countryside had heard from somewhere about her being supported by her colleagues throughout her pregnancy. He came all the way from their hometown. Before they could even finish the concert, the old man dragged them out of the venue. You ungrateful wretch, enjoying the good life while eating and drinking, and you don't even think of bringing me over to enjoy a few days of peace. Where is that fool? Lu Lin was just worrying about how to get rid of Zhao Panner, this leech. When she saw her father arrive, she immediately stopped pretending to be a saint. Are you Zhao Panner's father? Perfect, from now on, you'll be responsible for taking care of all her pregnancy matters. Upon noticing Lu Lin, Zhao Dahai's originally dull, aged eyes instantly lit up like a light bulb. They were wide open. Rubbing his wrinkled, old hands, he asked, "Are you the colleague who's been providing money and support for Panner?" Lu Lin straightened her back. "That's right, if it weren't for me, your daughter would have starved to death at her in-laws' house." Then, in a high-pitched voice, she began to lecture. "It's not like I'm blaming you, but how do you even act as a father? You don't even know to step in and defend your daughter when she's being bullied at her in-laws' house. You don't need to thank me, who told me I have a heart of a bodhisattva. You country folks believe in ghosts and gods, don't you? Just offer me a few sticks of incense every 1st and 15th day of the month, and pray for my promotion and salary increase." Zhao Dahai was used to being the dominant male figure. In his view, women aren't even allowed to eat at the table, let alone lecture him on the street. He immediately vented all his anger on Zhao Panner. Slap, slap. 2 slaps directly made Zhao Panner see stars. "You reckless thing, 3 days without a beating and you've forgotten the family rules. I'll teach you to find someone to lecture me." Lu Lin was stunned with fear, shouting at the top of her lungs, "How can you hit someone in public? Your daughter is pregnant, so what if she's pregnant? The child she's carrying isn't from my Zhao family, she's just a burden. I raised her to this age, her life belongs to me, I can hit her whenever I want." As he spoke, he pulled out a sickle from behind his waist, ready to strike Zhao Panner. Zhao Panner quickly pushed Lu Lin out to block, resulting in Lu Lin having one ear sliced off on the spot, blood gushing all over the ground. Zhao Dahai was terrified, frozen in place. Zhao Panner seized the opportunity to slip away. It was a kind passerby who helped call an ambulance. Now Lu Lin is still lying in the hospital, and Zhao Panner is nowhere to be found. I recall that in my previous life, Zhao Panner was just as timid and fearful. First, she tricked me into saying she had some things back in her hometown that needed to be moved, and she couldn't manage it alone. I kindly went to help her move, only to end up being used by her as a tool to please her father. When Zhao Dahai was insulting me, Zhao Panner could have called the police to save me, but she avoided it. Instead, she told people around her that I was trying to seduce her father and become her stepmother. Now, the story of the farmer and the snake is repeating itself with Lu Lin. Half a month later, I was walking home. Zhao Panner suddenly blocked my path, her large belly protruding. Her face was weary, and dark circles were visible under her eyes. "Sister Bai Shui, please help me. I really have no other choice." With that, she knelt down before me with a thud. The streets were bustling with people. She was trying to use public opinion to force me into submission. After all, Lu Lin's blood was almost drained by her, and she was in a hurry to find her next victim. A quick turn of the mind, and a plan came to the forefront. I grabbed her. "Get up quickly, I promise to help you." Zhao Panner's eyes lit up. "Really? My dad said that as long as I give him 400,000, he'll go back to his hometown and promise never to bother me again." Sister Bai Shui, your family is so wealthy, you'll definitely help with this small favor, right? I almost couldn't catch my breath. 40,000, small money, free, what kind of niche terminology is this? Seeing that I remained silent, she stammered, "I will find a way to earn money and repay you, even if it means dedicating my entire life to serving you like a beast of burden. I will repay Sister Bai Shui. You can't even afford to eat, yet you want to serve me like a beast of burden. I'm afraid you're thinking of sucking my blood in the next life and making me your beast of burden." I didn't agree, nor did I argue. Instead, I patiently guided her. "Panner, have you ever considered how much of what your father says is actually believable? If you really give him 400,000 yuan this time, won't he get a taste for it and then demand another 400,000 yuan? after all. He can find both where you work and where you live. When the time comes, your child will be born, and you'll be at your weakest. If you don't give him money, what extreme methods might he use to threaten you? Could your baby become a bargaining chip for him? Seeing her instinctively cover her stomach, I knew she was listening. I began to dangle the bait. Panner, have you ever thought that there is actually a way to completely solve this problem? As expected, when I said this, she immediately asked, what way? In fact, your father keeps asking you for money because he's afraid that when he gets old, you, as his daughter, won't take care of him. If he were to remarry and have someone who cares for his well-being to take care of his daily life and live a good life, do you think he would have no reason to bother you every day? Xiao Panner's expression immediately lit up, then it dimmed again. Who would be willing to marry someone like him? Lu Lin, I called out loudly. Seeing her confusion, I began to unravel the past threads. Think about it. Why would Lu Lin be so nice to you? Not only does she bring you nutritious meals every day, but she also buys you clothes, bags, and skincare products. Sis, I've been through this before. She's like a peacock showing off, deliberately putting on a show. It's all about wanting to present herself as virtuous at work, so that colleagues will think of her first when it comes to matchmaking. Xiao Panner started to ponder, and I continued to add fuel to the fire. Although uncle is a bit older men know how to be considerate. Isn't the trend now for older men to marry younger women? I don't think Lu Lin is that old-fashioned. Besides, she's already disfigured, so marrying uncle would be considered a high match for her. When the time comes, let her bring a dowry of 400,000. You, uncle, and Lu Lin can take out a mortgage for a house, live separately, and you won't have to look at your mother-in-law's face anymore, right? She loves cooking, so she can take care of you during your postpartum period, and you'll have a live-in nanny. After a few years, she can give birth to a son for your family, ensuring your father has an heir. He'll be eternally grateful to you, won't he? Xiao Panner slapped her thigh in excitement after hearing the news. Sister Bai Shui, why didn't I think of that earlier? I patted her on the shoulder. You know, it's easy to be blinded when you're too close to the situation. She had only taken a few steps before she started to worry again. But last time, she took the beating from my dad for me, and I ran away. Could she still be holding a grudge? How should I bring this up to her? I also pretended to be troubled and muttered, yeah, that's a tough one. We can't just tell your dad which hospital she's in and have him pick her up directly. That would be way too presumptuous. Xiao Panner was taken aback, as if she had thought of something. Without even saying goodbye, she hurriedly left. For the next week, neither of them came to work. Wang Hua, the team member partnered with Lu Lin, couldn't take it anymore. Has Lu Lin contacted you? I shook my head, having a suspicion in my heart but not daring to confirm it. Wang Hua muttered to himself, it's strange. She said she was injured and hospitalized, but the leave was approved for half a month. It's been 3 weeks now, and why hasn't she come back? She's a model worker who was awarded a commendation flag by the leadership. It's not right for her to slack off and shirk her duties. Another week passed. Wang Hua suddenly pulled me aside and asked mysteriously, did you know, Lu Lin disappeared for a month? Turns out she secretly went off to get married. I felt my jaw drop with a click. That's not something to joke about. Wang Hua got even more excited. TSK, you don't believe me? To prove she wasn't just talking nonsense, she opened her phone and scrolled through it for a while, then pulled up a photo to show me. Look, this is a post from one of my cousins in the countryside. Isn't the bride on that old man's back Lu Lin? I zoomed in and out of the screen, my heart skipping a beat. Although I couldn't recognize the bride, I would recognize the groom even if he were reduced to ashes. It was none other than the old lecher, Xiao Dahai, who had violated me in my previous life. Could it be that Xiao Panner really conspired with her scoundrel of a father to? Has the rice been cooked into a meal? My guess was quickly confirmed. On Monday, both Xiao Panner and Lu Lin came to work. However, their interaction pattern changed from the usual. Lu Lin wore a baseball cap and a mask, making her appear smaller in stature. She immediately hid at her workstation upon arrival. Even colleagues she usually got along well with greeted her, but she ignored them. Meanwhile, Xiao Panner, full of cheer, approached me and initiated a friendly conversation. Sister Bai Shui, long time no see. Here, these are the snacks I brought. Let's share them with everyone. I looked at the chocolate in Xian's hand. Wow, this is pure imported stuff, costing several hundred for just one piece. After sharing the snacks, Xiao Panner walked up to Lu Lin, knocked hard on her desk, speaking unkindly. Hey, get it done quickly, and finish mine too. Don't just think about slacking off. I'm talking to you. Did you hear me? Lu Lin grunted unwillingly. This has left everyone completely baffled. What's going on? Even beggars are this tough now. The entire company knows that Lu Lin is responsible for covering all of Zhao Panner's expenses during her pregnancy, although we don't like the Mother Teresa type. Zhao Panner is also referred to privately as the beggar. It has always been Zhao Panner who pretends to be pitiful in various ways to swindle money from Lu Lin. What's going on today? The world turned upside down. Taking advantage of the empty bathroom, I stopped Zhao Panner to ask, Panner, what's going on between you and Lu Lin? Zhao Panner was straightforward and didn't mince words as she replied, oh, she's now my stepmother. My dad is very pleased with her, and she's already moved into our house, in charge of cooking for the whole family. She spoke with a calm and confident air. I felt a chill run down my spine, as if she had thought of something. She turned back, unable to vent her hatred. She cursed. I've long grown tired of her condescending, charitable attitude. It turns out she was really using the excuse of cooking for me to flirt around everywhere. That night at the hospital, she sure screamed loudly, ha ha ha, even after Zhao Panner had been gone. For a long time, the cold sweat on my body still hadn't subsided, until a door in the bathroom was opened. Lu Lin was wrapped up tightly, with only her eyes visible. Her face was haggard, her eyes fixed on the direction where Zhao Panner had disappeared, radiating intense killing intent. Seeing her mental state seemed off, I quickly made my escape. Zhao Panner continued working for another 2 months later. As her belly grew larger and larger, she simply resigned. During these 2 months, Lu Lin became increasingly withdrawn and quiet. Once, I passed by her workstation. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed she was reading something called 100 Herbs Pharmacology. Looking at the long scar on her face, I couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy. When Zhao Panner resigned, she didn't forget to coldly order Lu Lin, you should also quit your job and come home to take care of me during my postpartum period. Don't use work as an excuse to slack off. That measly salary you earn in a month isn't even enough for me to buy a few pounds of imported fruit. Lu Lin didn't even dare to breathe heavily. After finishing packing, I accompanied Zhao Panner back to her hometown. Colleagues at the company began to feel sympathy for Lu Lin. Although Lu Lin is indeed too saintly, Zhao Panner is too vicious. I heard that Lu Lin becoming Zhao Panner's stepmother was all part of the Zhao family's scheme. I have a cousin who works as a nurse in the hospital. She heard that on the day Lu Lin was hospitalized and fell into a coma, Zhao Panner impersonated a family member, bringing her father in, and ended up with Lu Lin. Everyone chimed in, piecing together the entire truth of the matter. After hearing this, I touched my back and found it soaked through, because, in my previous life, my fate wasn't much better than Lu Lin's. Another year has passed. One day, Wang Hua pulled me aside and asked mysteriously, Bai Shui, do you still remember Lu Lin and Zhao Panner? I paused. It felt like such a distant memory, even though only a year had passed. Hearing those two names again felt like a lifetime ago. Seeing my slight hesitation, Wang Hua began to recount the big news she had heard from a friend back home. It was from her that I learned Lu Lin, over the course of a year, had been using the opportunity of cooking to continuously administer slow-acting poison to the entire family. Finally, a year later, Zhao Dahai and Zhao Panner both suddenly died due to kidney failure. Even Zhao Panner's 1-year-old son wasn't spared. Lu Lin had done this flawlessly, but after killing Zhao Panner's family, Lu Lin unexpectedly found out she was pregnant. Who knew that Zhao Panner's mother-in-law was also a tough character? As soon as she heard that Lu Lin was pregnant, she actually proposed that Lu Lin marry her son as a second wife. Lu Lin refused to back down, and both sides argued until their faces turned red. Zhao Panner's mother-in-law revealed that her son was infertile. I was shocked. Zhao Panner's husband is infertile. Then whose child is in Zhao Panner's belly? Wang Hua spat out the melon seeds in his mouth. Who could have known? It suddenly dawned on me. No wonder during Zhao Panner's pregnancy, her mother-in-law only cooked instant noodles for her. Wang Hua continued to share the gossip. Lu Lin saw how obsessed the old woman was about having a grandson. She also started planning her own scheme. She had intended to use the same trick to poison Zhao Panner's mother-in-law and her family, then seize the family's property. Little did she know that the old woman was shrewd and had discovered Lu Lin's poisoning attempt. She had planned to use this incident to control Lu Lin in the future. In the midst of their struggle, Lu Lin slashed the old woman to the ground with a knife, just as her son happened to return home and witness the scene. Thus, the two were taken to the police station. They confessed everything in full detail. After hearing Wang Hua recount all of this, I felt a wave of nausea. I took the excuse of feeling unwell and returned home early. At home, My parents had prepared a lot of delicious food, waiting for me. I threw myself into their arms, and tears streamed down my face. Mom affectionately patted my head. What's going on today? It's nothing, Mom. It's just so good to have you all here. After hearing the first story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Next, there is another similar story. Let's continue to see. Neighbor brother is a math genius from childhood. He repeatedly won major awards. Later, he trampled math test papers underfoot while playing video games and kissing my stepsister until he degenerated to the point of abandoning an important math competition. I couldn't help but tell his parents. Under strict supervision at home, he won first prize in the competition. After graduation, he achieved fame and success, becoming the president of a listed company, when I was forced to jump from the rooftop. His gaze held nothing but coldness towards me. This is your karma for tearing us apart. When I opened my eyes again, I was back in the math competition tutoring class. Fortunately, there's still time to fix everything. By the time class ended, it was already 8 p.m. I walked straight up to the tutor and said, Mr. Zhang, I won't be coming anymore. Your competition skills have been steadily improving. Why give up suddenly? The tutor looked at me with astonishment. I'm not interested anymore. I lowered my head to explain, enduring the discomfort in my body. The pain from jumping off a building in my past life hadn't completely faded yet. I really don't have much interest in math. I only studied it because of Zhou Yiba, but now, there's no need anymore. Alright. The tutor made a token effort to persuade him to stay, then put on a look of regret. You often sit with Zhou Yiba. Do you know what's been going on with him lately? He hasn't come to class for 2 weeks. He's such a promising student. It'd be a shame to see him fall behind. Before I could say anything, a classmate passing by us shouted, he's too busy with his love life to come to class. Under the teacher's shocked gaze, I silently left the classroom. As I passed by a bar on my way, I saw Zhou Yiba and Han Peipei taking turns drinking from a bottle of beer. They were wearing matching black and white couple outfits, looking nothing like students, more like delinquent youths from the streets. They drank while howling loudly. Before long, Han Peipei noticed me and started waving frantically. Sis, come over here. I'll buy you a drink. I didn't move, staring coldly at Zhou Yiba. Zhou Yiba gave me a fleeting glance, his face showing disdain. Han Peipei nudged him and deliberately said loudly, I almost forgot you two grew up together. Go on, call her over. After speaking, Han Peipei covered her mouth and chuckled lightly. Call her. Don't ruin the mood. Zhou Yiba didn't even glance at me, wrapping his arm around Han Peipei as they walked into the bar. A few days later, during free activity time in PE class, the homeroom teacher called Zhou Yiba and Han Peipei to the edge of the playground, because a middle-aged man pointed at Han Peipei and remarked how young girls these days were so little, saying it must be freezing in late autumn. Han Peipei then tearfully accused him of harassment, egging Zhou Yiba on to start a fight with the man. Zhou Yiba really dared to fight, directly breaking the other person's arm. Not only did his family have to pay a hefty medical bill, but the victim's family was so furious they went to the school demanding disciplinary action against Zhou Yiba. The school went to great lengths to suppress the matter. Zhou Yiba stood by the playground, holding hands with Han Peipei. The homeroom teacher glanced over, shaking her head sharply and saying sternly, Let go. Zhou Yiba sighed, while Han Peipei rolled her eyes before finally releasing their grip. Furious, the homeroom teacher stomped her foot and pointed at Zhou Yiba, scolding, how should I even put this? Your overall grades are poor, with only some talent in math. Why on earth did you stop attending the tutoring classes that were helping you? If you win first prize in the math competition, you might even get direct admission to Tsinghua or Peking University. You're only in your 3rd year of high school. What's the rush to fall in love? What good could possibly come from dating her? The homeroom teacher glanced at Han Peipei, then swallowed the words on the tip of her tongue. With a sigh, she added, You and Anren are not only desk mates but also good friends. How wonderful it would be to attend the math competition tutoring class together. At least she can motivate you to improve, rather than letting you wallow in self-indulgence. Hearing my name, I put away the small vocabulary booklet in my hand and stood up. Leaning against the big tree behind me, Zhou Yiba finally looked up and sneered at the homeroom teacher. Anren is just a bookworm. She really can't compare to Peipei. Exactly, Yiba is right. Han Peipei chuckled lightly, her gaze towards the homeroom teacher carrying a hint of defiance. If we can't even decide our own youth, what kind of youth is that? You all. The homeroom teacher was genuinely angered by their absurd remarks. Zhou Yiba scratched his head irritably and interjected, Teacher Yang, Stop bringing Anren into this in the future, I'm not that close with her. I stepped out from behind the tree and met Joeba's eyes. He paused for a moment, then turned his head away slightly flustered. I watched him quietly without saying a word. He was right. We really weren't familiar with each other. We just did homework together frequently, ate meals together often, and went to bookstores to buy books together regularly from elementary school through senior year. That's all there was to it. My family and Joeba's were neighbors living upstairs and downstairs. I met him in second grade of elementary school. You could say we were childhood sweethearts. One day that year, I forgot my keys and was sitting by my front door sniffling and wiping tears when he walked over to me. "You're Anren from class 1, grade 2, right?" "I'm Joeba from class 3, grade 2. That was the first time I met him. Later, I often went to his place for meals. His dad was an excellent cook and jokingly said he wouldn't let me eat unless I called him Grandpa. I knew Uncle was joking, so I immediately called him Grandpa. It made everyone burst into laughter. When I grew up, I would blush with embarrassment whenever people brought it up, yet deep down, I was happy. Faced with Joeba's warm sunshine-like demeanor, it was hard not to like him. My father is a middle school teacher who leaves early and returns late every day. My mother passed away when I was very young, so I had to commute to and from school by myself from an early age. On the way, I often encountered older bullies who would call me a wild child with no one to raise me, and some would even lay hands on me. Whenever Grandpa Joeba saw this, he would chase the bullies away, and Joeba would run over to tightly hold my hand. Later, I got used to going to and from school with Joeba. Apart from that, I wasn't good at math. While Joeba possessed astonishing mathematical talent, he would tutor me in math almost every day, and over time, my math grades became among the top in the class. But there was still an insurmountable gap compared to Joeba. One day, he suddenly tilted his head and looked at me seriously, saying, "We can participate in the math competition together during our senior year. If we win first prize, there's a chance to be directly admitted to Tsinghua University." I replied sheepishly, "How could I possibly win first prize? I don't have any talent for math." "Hey, don't underestimate yourself, and don't underestimate me either. A great teacher produces outstanding students. I'll definitely help you win first prize." I couldn't bear to leave you behind. His eyes darted, then turned to look at me. "Could you bear to leave me?" Instantly, my face flushed crimson, and from that moment on, I began studying math competition problems with all my might. I know my chances of winning first prize are slim, but I still want to give it my all because of that one sentence. I couldn't bear to leave you behind, but in the end, that hope was shattered, because he met Han Pepe. Han Pepe came to my house during our senior year of high school. That day, 4 or 5 classmates were doing homework at my place, and the moment she walked in, she caught everyone's attention. She wore a beige long trench coat, paired with a light-colored fitted top, flesh-toned leggings, and a low-rise hot short skirt with beige eyeshadow, rosy lips, and sparkling earrings. She stood out dazzlingly among us. She chewed gum, the corners of her mouth lifted slightly, exuding confidence and boldness. She extended her hand, shaking ours one by one, introducing herself with ease and natural grace. I turned my head and saw Joeba, who had previously shown no interest in anything except math problems, staring intently at her. She was a splash of color in our gray youth. The next day she transferred to our class, and the whole room erupted in excitement, but Han Pepe seemed to only have eyes for Joeba. A few days later, when Joeba was tutoring me for a math competition at home, she extended her first olive branch to him, shaking his arm with laughter in her eyes. She said, "Joe, I heard you're the smartest student in our class. You must be really good at gaming too. Would you like to play games with me? Playing alone is so boring." As she spoke, Han Pepe pouted her rosy little lips. Usually, after school, Joeba would tutor me for math competitions. I was certain he would reject her, but I was wrong. He just blushed, scratched his head, and said to me, "Anren, I won't tutor you today. You can work on your English or Chinese test papers first." After saying that, Joeba really ran home to get his laptop and teamed up with Han Pepe to play games. I stared blankly at the English test paper on the desk, not taking in a single word. I saw Han Pepe deliberately knock the banana off the table, then bend down to pick it up right under Joeba's nose. Joeba seemed to have seen something he shouldn't have, swallowing hard as his face turned red inch by inch. Before Dad and Stepmom came home, the entire house was filled with their laughter and excited shouts during their playful fights. To my surprise, this was just the beginning. In the following days, they were inseparable. playing games together. Zhou Yiba also stopped tutoring me for math competition problems. What surprised me even more was that a week later, Zhou Yiba confessed his feelings to Han Peipei. Han Peipei gave me a smiling glance and readily agreed. From this moment on, Zhou Yiba completely let himself go. His heart and eyes were filled with Han Peipei, and the two were as inseparable as conjoined twins. He accompanied her to smoke on the rooftop of the teaching building. He supported her as they staggered out of the bar. He got into fights for her, worried about being discovered by their families. They simply went to an internet cafe to play games. He said Han Peipei was a ray of light in his gray life. He said he wouldn't tutor me anymore from now on, worried that Han Peipei might misunderstand. From that moment on, we parted ways at the crossroads of life. Zhou Yiba got scolded, but stubbornly insisted he wasn't wrong, saying they were both over 18 and had the right to date. After Zhou Yiba and Han Peipei left, the homeroom teacher said that since Zhou Yiba and I had always gotten along well and were neighbors, I should try to persuade him, or else tell his parents. This time, I refused. Zhou Yiba was right. They were indeed 18, as long as they weren't breaking the law. Who could stop them? The homeroom teacher sighed and gave up. It started raining after school. As I walked out of the school gate alone under my umbrella, I spotted Zhou Yiba and Han Peipei beneath a large black umbrella by the roadside. Zhou Yiba wrapped his arm around her shoulder as they nestled together beneath the black umbrella. We used to shelter from the rain like this too. Zhou Yiba would say his umbrella was big enough and wanted to share it with me, only now the other person beneath that black umbrella has become Han Peipei. It didn't have to be me. As they passed by, Han Peipei suddenly spoke up and ran. Are you out of your mind? Just because Zhou Yiba stopped tutoring you for the math competition, you couldn't handle it and started snitching to the teacher. How pathetic can you be? Ha, the tutoring teacher and the homeroom teacher were high school classmates. Did I even need to snitch? I froze, turned to look at them, and felt my expression darken inch by inch. Before I could speak, Zhou Yiba shot me an irritated glance. You're really annoying. Like this, please stay away from me from now on and stop interfering with my life. I was just about to burst into curses when Zhou Yiba grabbed Han Peipei and dashed into the rain, watching the handsome guy and beautiful girl huddled under a single umbrella as they ran wildly. It couldn't have been more romantic, but what did I ever do to them? Crazy, a pair of lunatics. I shouted at their fading figures, but only the increasingly heavy rain answered me. After that day, the two began a passionate love affair, loving openly and recklessly, with a love that was all-consuming. Like some young couples in the throes of romance, they would skip class for a concert, traveling to another city together to see a certain celebrity, clinging to each other and screaming on roller coasters, swaying their hips on the dance floor of a late-night bar. Alcohol set their youth ablaze with abandon. They just forgot that they are still students now, high school seniors who need to study hard. But in this life, I will only stand by and watch. Then I will study day and night, preparing diligently for the college entrance exam. In my previous life, in order to follow Zhou Yiba's footsteps, I foolishly chose the path of no return by participating in math competitions, not knowing my own limits. Now I won't be a competition student anymore. I'll be an ordinary college entrance exam candidate. I'm going to take next year's college entrance exam and never do those damn math competition problems again. I know changing paths now will make things extremely difficult for me, but I have to do it. Unexpectedly, that day I overheard Han Peipei's conversation with her deskmate again. How could I possibly like Zhou Yiba? He's just good at math. That's all. I just can't stand him hovering around and ran all day. Ha ha ha, who would have thought? I just crooked my finger at him, and he came running. Her deskmate. Don't make yourself sound so impressive. Maybe he's just feeling curious and playing along with you for fun. There's no way he'd drop out of the math competition just like that. Han Peipei, don't believe me if you don't want to, but just wait and see. Will he participate in this year's senior math competition or not? I walked in from outside the door. I know the first prize winner of this math competition has an excellent chance of being directly admitted to Tsinghua University. I understand how important this math competition is to him. In my previous life, it was after overhearing their conversation that I told Zhou Yiba's parents. Under strict supervision at home, he won first prize in the competition and was successfully admitted to Tsinghua University. After graduation, he achieved fame and success, becoming the CEO of a listed company. Yet when I became an employee at his company, he deceived me into signing a contract that left me burdened with massive debt. As I was forced to leap from the rooftop, his gaze held nothing but cold indifference. This is your punishment for tearing us apart. Thinking of Zhou Yiba makes me tremble all over. Suddenly, Han Peipei turned to look at me. Anren, you wouldn't tell his parents. would you? If you do, he might think you're deliberately trying to ruin my relationship with him. I flipped through the book in my hands, not even glancing at her. Do you think I'd waste this time, in this lifetime? Of course I wouldn't snitch, I must respect their fate. In the end, Zhou Yiba ultimately didn't participate in that math competition, because Zhou Yiba had accompanied Han Peipei in the rain the night before. He caught a cold and developed a fever. As a result, their relationship actually grew closer. I saw the two of them holding hands as they entered the internet cafe. Zhou Yiba's gaze at the person beside him was tender and sweet. Han Peipei skillfully lit a cigarette and blew a smoke ring towards Zhou Yiba's face. Zhou Yiba took a cigarette and started smoking as well. Then, they began playing video games with a flurry of button presses. I smiled faintly, turned around, and left to go home and do my homework, until evening when his parents came to my house. Zhou Yiba's parents, being doctors, appeared dignified and tolerant in my eyes. I've had too many meals at their home and felt immense warmth. Zhou Yiba's family was quite well off. His parents had high hopes for him, and upon discovering his mathematical talent, enrolled him in numerous math competition tutoring classes. Zhou Yiba also delivered, winning so many awards from childhood that it became effortless if he could secure first prize. In this high school senior math competition, he would stand an excellent chance of being directly admitted to Tsinghua University. This was his best pathway to entering a prestigious institution, but Zhou Yibo ruined everything. Now, Zhou's parents' faces were as dark as the bottom of a pot. Right in front of my dad and stepmom, they were about to hit Han Peipei. After being stopped, Han Peipei angrily shouted at her parents, "What's wrong with you? Why do you want to hit me?" Mother Zhou sneered coldly, "And why shouldn't I? If it weren't for you, why would my son refuse to participate in the math competition? Do you have any idea how many years our family has prepared for this math competition, how much we've sacrificed, all because of you? My son's efforts have come to nothing." Hearing this, Han Peipei responded with a cold laugh, "You can't blame me for this, it's your son who's been pestering me. You'd better investigate properly instead of randomly dumping accusations on my head." Mrs. Zhou turned pale with anger, her legs trembling uncontrollably. At this point, Mr. Zhou couldn't hold back either, pointing at Han Peipei and shouting sternly, "How could my son ever be involved with someone like you?" As he spoke, Dad Zhou glanced at me. "If he wants to date Ran, we'd wholeheartedly support it." Being suddenly called out, my whole body stiffened. Han Peipei's sharp, knife-like gaze immediately pierced through me. "And Ran, so it was you who told on me. How could you do this, after all the times I've called you sister?" The corner of my mouth twitched, and I calmly replied, "Don't go biting people randomly. I don't have time to deal with your messy affairs." Father Zhou suppressed his anger. It was Zhao Ziheo's mom who said it. "We're colleagues." I breathed a sigh of relief. Otherwise, even jumping into the Yellow River couldn't wash me clean. The commotion caused by this incident was quite significant, and soon many neighbors in the building became aware of it. My stepmother couldn't bear the pointing fingers and gossip. Besides, she was only living with my father without a formal marriage or marriage certificate. The next day, she left with Han Peipei. Zhou Yiba believed it was his fault that Han Peipei and her daughter were humiliated by his parents. After they returned home, he tore all his math competition test papers and related tutoring books to shreds. He even used his own body as a bargaining chip, refusing to eat or drink in protest against his parents. I saw Zhou Yiba again a month later. That night, Mr. Zhou knocked on my door, asking my dad to help take Zhou Yiba to the hospital. I heard he drank so much that he got a stomach hemorrhage. Zhou Yiba was slumped over his father's back, his down jacket stained red with blood. His pale face, however, bore a faint, enigmatic smile. It sent chills down my spine, leaving me cold all over, because I heard him say one sentence: "In this life, I will live for Han Peipei. Anren, don't even think about stopping me again." The voice was extremely faint, yet I heard it crystal clear. He actually reincarnated too. I froze in place like a statue. In the end, his parents finally compromised, and they got together. Zhou Yiba never did math competition problems again, yet he didn't care at all, nor did he feel any regret. He said that compared to Han Peipei, math competitions were nothing. From then on, Zhou Yiba and I lost contact. The mere thought of him made me sick, even when we bumped into each other in the apartment hallway, with him half opening his mouth to greet me. I would treat him like air, either lowering my head or walking past him without a glance. I devoted all my time to studying, even though Han Peipei mocked me at school, calling me a puppet who only knew how to study, unable to take charge of my own youth. What kind of life was that? I wouldn't take her words to heart either, but instead threw myself wholeheartedly into studying, doing nothing but sleeping, reviewing, and solving problems. I believe every word I memorize now. Every test paper I complete holds meaning. They will enable me to go where I want to go, meet the people I wish to see, and live the life I desire. Meanwhile, Zhou Yiba and Han Pei were indulging in their youth, immersed in romance, even claiming recklessly that this was what true youth should be. In the final mock exam, I scored over 600 points, which was already enough to apply for some top universities, compared to my results when I decided to take the regular college entrance exam. This was an improvement of more than 100 points. Meanwhile, Zhou Yiba not only missed the math competition but also didn't participate in the mock exam this time. I heard the rumors circulating in class. Zhou Yiba got into a bar fight and was thrown in jail. On the weekend night, they went to the bar again. While squeezed in the middle of the dance floor amidst wild dancing, a wandering hand reached Han Pei. Amidst screams and shouts, Zhou Yiba and that yellow-haired delinquent started brawling. By the time the police arrived, the yellow-haired guy was beaten so badly he couldn't get up. I lowered my head and sneered. It's been a long time since I last saw Zhou Yiba. His face grows increasingly blurry in my mind, no longer able to overlap with that warm little boy. After this incident, I thought Han Pei would show some restraint, but I was wrong. Not only did she show no remorse, she even flaunted it with a post on her social media. Baby and I are waiting for your brave return. The accompanying photo showed two hands gently resting on a slightly rounded belly. That post was like a bomb dropped into a calm lake. Our entire class erupted in chaos. During this period, students found school life dull and monotonous, fueling a strong curiosity about such private matters. As soon as this social media post circulated, the entire class buzzed with heated discussions, though most of it was mockery and condemnation directed at the two of them. When she first transferred to our class, I was actually drawn to her unconventional aura. TSK, I must have been blind. Turns out she's just shameless. A boy sneered nearby. Lucky you didn't pursue her back then, or how much grass would have grown on your head. Ha ha ha, dodged a bullet there. It wasn't long. Zhou Yiba was released, having heard his family spent a considerable sum to reach a settlement for his case. But the current Zhou Yiba was a far cry from his former confident self. The light in his eyes had vanished. The teacher also gave up on him, moving his seat to a remote corner at the back of the classroom. Zhou Yiba and Han Pei took charge of their own youth, sleeping through classes and rushing to internet cafes as soon as school ended, living recklessly and unrestrained. As for me, it was nothing but studying, forming a stark contrast with them. We drifted further and further apart, never to intersect again. During the college entrance exam, my thoughts flowed smoothly, and my pen moved swiftly. I felt that not a single bit of my previous efforts had gone to waste. When the final exam ended, I walked out of the examination hall with light steps, slightly raised my head, saw the brilliant sun, and felt utterly fulfilled inside. I did my best, living up to my youth. When I got home, I saw my dad drinking with Zhou Yiba's father. Noticing me, Mr. Zhou asked with concern, Ran, did you do well on the exam? Not bad. It's the most satisfying exam I've ever taken, I replied with a smile. That's great. Ran will definitely get into her dream university. Father Zhou showed a relieved smile, then lowered his head again, his expression growing complicated. He sighed. If only Yiba were like Ran. Why did he falter at the critical moment? Amid Father Zhou's rambling, I heard even more. After Zhou Yiba got out of jail, he moved out to live with Han Pei. He stole 20,000 yuan from home when he left, which made his mother so angry she ended up hospitalized. That wasn't the end of it, just a few days before the college entrance exams, Han Pei suddenly started bleeding while playing games at an internet cafe. This caused Zhou Yiba to miss the exams entirely, but Zhou Yiba didn't take it seriously, saying he was already an adult. It was his own youth, and he could live it however he wanted. Back when Yiba and Ran were preparing for the math competition together, he was so well behaved, so sensible and motivated. How did he end up like this? Zhou's father picked up his glass and took a big gulp, his face full of exhaustion and disappointment. I didn't say anything the whole time. Truth be told, I didn't know either. I don't know. If Han Pei hadn't come to my house, if Zhou Yiba hadn't met Han Pei, would the outcome have been different? But no matter what, all of this has nothing to do with me anymore. Unexpectedly, at the graduation dinner a week later, I ran into Zhou Yiba and Han Pei again. Before high school, I was completely focused on my studies and never bothered with my appearance, but now things are different. I've finished the college entrance exams and graduated from high school. I changed my ponytail to loose shoulder-length hair, wore light makeup, and dressed in a pure white dress. As usual, I didn't talk much, quietly holding my Lulu and sipping it slowly, yet I still became the center of attention. My classmates probably didn't expect that after a little grooming, I'd look like a completely different person. It was as if they had discovered a dusty pearl. Their gazes became complicated, filled with shock, admiration, delight, and, of course, a hint of envy from a few female classmates. Zhou Yiba also kept glancing my way occasionally. From his extremely conflicted expression, I caught a trace of regret. Anren, how did you become so beautiful? Turns out you're the real beauty of our class. The class monitor suddenly steered the conversation toward me. My face flushed as I hesitated over how to respond. When another classmate chimed in, it's really true, and Ran has been attracting more and more attention lately. Her mock exam results have been improving with each test. Yeah, and Ran, you're definitely going to do well this time. You should be able to reach first tier, right? Just as I set down my cup and was about to speak, a disdainful laugh suddenly rang out. Han Peipei was rolling her eyes and laughing. She stood up, cigarette in hand, and slowly walked toward me. Anren, it's been a few days, and you've changed so much. Here, have a smoke. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have met Iba. I haven't properly thanked you yet. She held a cigarette in one hand while smoking, and with the other, she pinched a cigarette and offered it to me. The pungent smell of smoke hit me, and I instinctively covered my mouth slightly as I took a step back. I said with a cold face, I don't like smoking. Heh, you've already started putting effort into dressing up. Why not smoke too? Han Peipei sneered and continued. You just want to catch Zhou Yiba's attention, don't you? He likes girls who smoke like me. Why don't you hurry up and try it? Zhou Yiba walked over with a dark expression and pulled her away. What nonsense are you talking? Let's just go. Han Peipei withdrew her arm and continued staring at me, saying, I advise you not to waste your efforts. Iba doesn't like someone like you. He said you're like a puppet who only knows how to study, and he finds you boring. He would never like you. He enjoys being with me. He likes going to bars with me, watching concerts together, playing online games. But you can't do any of that. What's so fun about your kind of youth? The other classmates were starting to find it unbearable, their gazes growing increasingly disdainful toward Han Peipei. I looked at Han Peipei expressionlessly and said, I'm not interested in your affairs, nor do I wish to comment on them, but please don't tell me what to do. I'm the master of my youth. I love studying. I love solving problems. What's it to you, Han? Peipei's face instantly turned cold. Zhou Yiba gave me an ambiguous glance before pulling Han Peipei outside. I sat back down on the chair, picked up the Lulu drink, and took small sips, drinking quietly. They no longer hold any weight in my heart. All I care about now is the upcoming release of the college entrance exam results. After some more time passed, the college entrance exam results came out. I scored 642 points. It was over 20 points higher than my best mock exam scores, truly exceeding expectations, enough to get into quite prestigious first-tier universities. My dad was overjoyed, grinning from ear to ear as he called my uncles and aunts to share the good news. For a while, our home was buzzing with excitement. Many of my dad's colleagues and friends brought their kids over to learn my secrets, asking how I managed to improve my scores by 150 points in just 6 months. They even ended up taking away all my high school textbooks and subject notes. When I was admitted to a prestigious university, my dad hosted a celebration banquet at home, cooking a table full of dishes to entertain our closest relatives. During the meal, my aunt asked, Ran, did the boy living upstairs get recommended admission to Tsinghua University? Wasn't he a math genius? My hand holding the chopsticks paused, and I silently shook my head. My dad said with deep regret, actually, I'm to blame for this. If I hadn't found Ran a stepmother, that boy wouldn't have met Han Peipei, and they wouldn't have started dating so early. Alas, such a talented individual wasted his potential because of puppy love, missed the math competition, didn't even take the college entrance exam. What a tragedy. Indeed, his future was once so bright. Had he focused on his studies and followed through with the math competition as planned, he would have been guaranteed admission to Tsinghua University. But when it comes down to it, isn't this his own fault? These were his own choices. He abandoned himself. After seeing off relatives downstairs, I ran into Zhou Yiba in the hallway. I tried to slip past him quietly, but he stopped me. Ran, I heard you did well on your exams. Congratulations. I was taken aback at first, then replied indifferently, actually, I owe it to you for helping me find the right direction in time. the corner of his mouth twitched as he let out an awkward, bitter laugh. Is your major math or computer science? I raised my face with a faint smile. Neither, it's Chinese language and literature. At the end of August, I left for Shanghai to attend university. The classmates in my program were all outstanding, so I had to study even harder, read more, and write more to keep my life fulfilling and my heart enriched. During my university years, I won the first-class scholarship in Chinese language and literature multiple times and even achieved financial freedom by writing online novels. By the time I graduated, I had gained some fame, with several of my novels adapted into hit TV dramas, making me the center of attention for a while. I was so busy every day that I had completely forgotten about Zhou Yiba and Han Peipei. 2 years after graduating from university, our class monitor organized a high school reunion. I happened to have time that day, so I went at the party. I became the center of attention once again, with classmates lining up to take photos and get autographs from me, while also continuously urging me to drink, and Ran is now a famous writer. I heard the novel she just finished earlier this year is going to be adapted into a TV series. Yeah, a friend of mine at the publishing house said several of Ayn Rand's novels are sold out and they're currently doing additional printings. Amidst the flattery from classmates, someone suddenly brought up Zhou Yiba and Han Peipei. Zhou Yiba was in the same math competition class with you back then. We all thought you two would be recommended for admission to Tsinghua University to study math. Sigh, it's all Han Peipei's fault. If Zhou Yiba hadn't dated her, he would definitely have been recommended to Tsinghua. TSK, what a pity. At that time, we thought they were so brave and romantic, but looking back now, they were just naive and foolish. Exactly. I heard they're both having a pretty tough time now. How are they doing now? Did they get married? Someone asked curiously. What marriage? They broke up years ago. Right after high school, they went to work in the South. Within a year, Han Peipei got tired of him for not making enough money and started seeing a married boss. I heard some of that too. They say the boss got bored of her and dumped her. Not long ago, someone mentioned seeing her working as a hostess in a bar in Shenzhen, utterly rotten to the core. What about Zhou Yiba? Oh, him. He came back from the South long ago. Now he's working as an errand runner. Last time I ordered a document delivery through my phone. Who showed up but Zhou Yiba? As he spoke, the classmate glanced at his watch. He should be arriving soon. I just sent him to fetch a bottle of good wine. The classmates exchanged glances, the atmosphere turning slightly awkward. The classmate laughed. Don't misunderstand. If I didn't give him errands, he wouldn't bother coming to the reunion. Don't worry, he's long shed that arrogance from back in the day. With that said, the atmosphere in the room became lively again. Before long, I saw Zhou Yiba pushing the door open and entering. I almost didn't recognize him. His face was swollen, his skin rough, and dark circles under his eyes. The vitality and spirit were completely gone from him. The boy who once promised to get into Tsinghua University with me through recommendation had now become utterly ordinary. When he saw me, he was startled at first, then avoided eye contact, looking both awkward and ashamed. Suddenly, I recalled our conversation that day. In our senior year of high school, we could participate in the math competition together. If we won first prize, there was a chance to be directly admitted to Tsinghua University. How could I possibly win first prize? I don't have a talent for math. You, don't underestimate yourself, and don't underestimate me either. A great teacher produces outstanding students. I'll definitely help you win first prize. I couldn't bear to leave you behind. Back then, I knew it would be very difficult for me to get into Tsinghua through direct admission, but I never expected that he wouldn't make it either. Everything that happened that year feels like a distant dream now. We have all woken up. After the dinner ended, I was waiting for a taxi by the roadside when Zhou Yiba walked over and whispered, Ran, I was wrong. Actually, I should have chosen to be with you that year. But you, why didn't you stop me? I was so angry I laughed. Your parents can't even control you. Do you think I can? Besides, why should I still care about you? Who do you think you are? Ran, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Can we start over? I looked at him in surprise. Never. Expecting him to be so shameless, I shook my head slightly, ignoring him. At that moment, a taxi pulled up beside me, and I got in. Ran, please, give me one more chance. Okay, he pleaded, his voice trembling. There's no need. I rolled up the window. Let's go, driver. The car moved slowly. From behind came a roar like that of a trapped beast. And Ran, are you also reborn? I didn't turn my head, just gazed sideways at the scattered lights outside the window. Hey, Reborn, seriously nuts. The Driver scoffed. After hearing the second story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Next, there is another similar story. Let's continue to see. The college entrance exam results were announced, and my boyfriend was admitted to the Capital Institute of Foreign Affairs. His adopted sister, the school beauty, didn't get into university, so her parents sent her abroad to study. To commemorate his adopted sister, he had her bite a scar into his collarbone. Following the trend, upon hearing the news, I rushed over to stop him. Lindsay Heo, you won't pass the physical exam for the Foreign Affairs College with scars on your body, my adopted sister said with reddened eyes. Yusheng, I know you think I've stolen brother's attention from you, but I promise, this is the last time. I'm going abroad next week and won't see brother ever again, she cried pitifully. Tears streaming down her face, my boyfriend immediately pushed me away in distress, pulling down his collar for his adopted sister to bite. For his future, I pleaded earnestly and even called his parents before he finally stopped. That night, his adopted sister swallowed sleeping pills in anger, leaving a note, I'll never disturb you and brother again. My boyfriend barged into my home like a madman and smothered me to death, and my parents took their money, falsely claiming that I died from taking too many sleeping pills. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day my boyfriend and foster sister were about to get matching scars. My boyfriend's furious voice rang in my ears. Su Yusheng, let me tell you, don't think you can make me give up on getting matching scars by feeding me some lie. I raised my eyes and stared at him intently, pinching myself hard. It hurt. I'm still alive, thinking about the feeling of suffocation and death. I wanted nothing more than to strangle him right now. Also, Hai Ru and I are just siblings, nothing as sordid as you're imagining, Lin Zihao said disdainfully. Really, Sister Yusheng, it's not what you think between me and my brother. Lin Hairu chimed in from the side. If Lin Zihao hadn't suffocated me for her sake in my past life, I might have naively believed they were just like siblings. Watching her tightly grasp Lin Zihao's hand, I realized how blind I'd been. It was so blatantly obvious right before my eyes. Yet I remained completely oblivious. Fine, stay then, don't think for a moment. Lin Zihao's words abruptly stopped. You're not stopping me anymore, he said with some surprise. You're not stopping me anymore, I sneered. As long as you like it, my opinion doesn't matter. With that, I turned to leave. Lin Hairu suddenly grabbed my hand. No, you can't go, brother. What if she goes to call mom and dad later? Lin Zihao's expression changed abruptly. You can't leave. I won't tell anyone. That's still not okay. Lin Zihao pulled me onto the chair and grabbed a nearby rope to tie me up. Yusheng, sorry to make you sit here for a while. Wait until I finish leaving the scar, bro. Let's go inside to do it. I want your teeth marks on my collarbone too. Okay. The two walked in arm. Seeing this scene, I sneered inwardly. Bite harder. The Foreign Affairs College doesn't accept students who fail their physical exams. I can't wait to see the look on Lin Zihao's face when the admission letter arrives. To avoid drawing attention, Lin Hairu deliberately chose a tattoo parlor as cover. Suddenly, several young men with rainbow-colored hair walked out of the shop. You're Su Yusheng? No, I'm not stupid. It was obvious they were looking for trouble. Brother Hong, it's her, the blue-haired youth beside him said. Sister Ru said she was tied to a chair. Good, daring to lie to me. Brother Hong slapped me across the face. Bullying my sister Ru is one thing, but you dare lie to Brother Hong too. At the blue-haired youth's command, several young men rushed forward and started beating me. They know exactly where to hit, targeting spots that won't show bruises. I cried out in pain, and those who heard quickly looked away, afraid of getting involved. By the time Lin Zihao and the others emerged with fresh scars, they found me lying on the ground. Lin Hairu exclaimed in surprise. Yusheng, why are you on the ground? Lin Zihao, untie me, I said word by word with gritted teeth, startled by my furious glare. Lin Zihao was about to step forward to release me. Lin Hairu tugged at his hand coquettishly. Brother, let someone else untie Yusheng, my wound hurts. Come buy some painkillers with me. All right, Lin Zihao hastily agreed. Lin Zihao, untying me wouldn't take that long, I said angrily, yet Lin Zihao and the other person ran away swiftly. At that moment, I was grinding my teeth in frustration. In the end, it was a passerby who couldn't stand watching anymore that untied me. 3 days later, my parents and Lin Zihao's parents held a celebration banquet for us, celebrating Lin Zihao and I getting into university. Quite a few people attended the banquet, aside from relatives and friends. Lin Ziheo's parents also invited teachers from our school. When Lin Ziheo and his parents went to toast at the teacher's table, the homeroom teacher noticed the scar on his collarbone. His face suddenly changed, his voice sharp as he exclaimed, "Lin Ziheo, you got a scar." Lin Ziheo's parents' smiles froze, and they instinctively turned to examine him. Sure enough, they spotted a scar on his collarbone. "Lin Ziheo, who bit you?" his mother Wang Mei demanded angrily. "Mom, Lin Ziheo didn't know how to explain. He instinctively turned his gaze toward me. Wang Mei had an extremely strong need for control, not only restricting Lin Ziheo's diet but even more so in his clothing and appearance. In the past, when I was around, I would explain things to Wang Mei for him. Now, what's it got to do with me? Lin Ziheo, don't you know that having scars means you can't pass?" Before the homeroom teacher could finish speaking, Lin Hairu came running over eagerly to explain. "Teacher, Mom, the scar is fake. My brother and I were playing Truth or Dare. He lost, and I punished him by making him stick it on. Is that true?" the homeroom teacher asked skeptically. "It's true," Lin Hairu nodded firmly. Wang Mei suddenly turned to me. "Yusheng, is what they're saying true?" Lin Ziheo and Lin Hairu both looked at me nervously. I curled my lips into a smile. "Auntie, I don't know." Lin Hairu glared at me fiercely. "Mom, it really was just stuck on." As she spoke, she peeled off the scar on her collarbone. Wang Mei's expression softened, but I could clearly see the shock in Lin Ziheo's eyes. It seems Lin Hairu's scar didn't leave a mark, and Lin Ziheo didn't even know about it. If Wang Mei were to find out that it was Lin Hairu, her adopted daughter, who encouraged her son to keep the scar, then Lin Hairu would definitely face terrible consequences. Midway through the banquet, I stepped out to use the restroom and was cornered by Lin Ziheo on my way back. "Su Yusheng, was it you who leaked the story about my scar?" Though he phrased it as a question, his tone already condemned me in his heart. "You're overthinking it. I'm not that bored." I remained calm. Lin Ziheo said triumphantly. "Su Yusheng, you don't know yet. I changed your college entrance exam preference to a vocational college." "What?" I stared at him in shock. "How did you get my password?" Then my mind immediately thought of my parents. If they could claim I died from sleeping pills for money, what's stopping them from changing my college application password? "I just told your parents. What if you score too well and don't come back?" Without hesitation, they gave me your password and asked me to change it to a local vocational college. Why? I couldn't understand. Lin Ziheo and I had no grudges between us in my past life. When Lin Hairu overdosed on sleeping pills and he suffocated me, I could comprehend that, but why would he alter my college entrance exam preferences? "Why? Because you scored better than me," Lin Ziheo said with a fierce expression. "Do you know what people in our class are saying about me?" Lin Ziheo got into the Foreign Affairs College because of his girlfriend, Su Yusheng. This was clearly my own hard work. Why does everyone else think it's all your credit? I refuse to accept this, I said solemnly. "So, you want to alter my college entrance exam choices?" "Exactly. I want everyone to know that I scored better than you. I can get into the Foreign Affairs College, while you'll only end up at some no-name vocational school." Watching his smug, petty expression filled me with disgust. How could I have been so blind to fall for him back then? But little does he know, I've already been recommended for admission to the Foreign Affairs College. Taking the college entrance exam was just to experience what it feels like. Originally, I wanted to give Lin Ziheo a surprise, so I didn't tell him. Now I'm actually glad I didn't say it out loud. Otherwise, this guaranteed admission might have been sabotaged by petty people. Returning to the banquet, everyone had pretty much finished eating. The homeroom teacher came over and told me, "Yusheng, remember to go back to school tomorrow for the physical examination." "Okay, teacher." The next day, when I arrived at school, Lin Ziheo and Lin Hairu happened to be coming out with their medical examination reports. Seeing me, Lin Hairu sneered. Sister Yusheng, didn't you say scars would disqualify us from passing the medical exam? Look, what do we have here?" She waved the medical report in her hand, her eyes gleaming with pride. A close friend beside her asked, "Hairu, what do you mean by that?" Lin Hairu feigned sadness, saying, "Yusheng misunderstood the relationship between me and my brother. A few days ago, I took my brother to get a scar as a keepsake, and she wasn't happy about it." "Su Yusheng, how could you be like this?" A classmate stood up for her indignantly. Truly, a filthy mind sees filth everywhere. Ignoring their barking, I glanced at them and walked into the school. "Honestly, so utterly rude," the classmate angrily complained about me. "It's okay, I'll treat you to bubble tea to cool you down," Lin Hairu immediately said. "Hairu, you're the best." listening to the thick camaraderie behind me. I felt nothing, anyway, once the admission letters arrive. They'll know if I was right. A few days later, it was Lin Ziheo's birthday, and his parents invited me over. I didn't want to go at first, but the thought of the admission letter arriving today made me agree immediately. Quite a few classmates also came to the birthday party. Halfway through, Lin Hairu went out and came back holding an envelope. "Bro, your admission letter arrived." Everyone present stopped what they were doing and turned their attention to the envelope in Lin Hairu's hand. It really is an envelope from the Foreign Affairs College. Lin Ziheo, congratulations, you'll be a student at the Foreign Affairs College soon. Don't forget each other if we rise in the world. The flattering words made Lin Ziheo increasingly smug. He glanced at me and asked, "Yusheng, where's your admission letter?" "That's right, Yusheng, which university accepted you?" "The Foreign Affairs College," I replied with a smirk. "How is that possible?" Lin Hairu screamed. Lin Ziheo's face flashed with astonishment, then he said, "Yusheng, this joke isn't funny at all." "Who said I was joking? I really did get accepted into the Foreign Affairs College." "Ah, I remember now," someone in the crowd exclaimed. "Someone from our class got recommended for admission to the Foreign Affairs College." "Su Yusheng, it's actually you." "No way," Lin Ziheo instinctively denied. "Why not? Su Yusheng's grades are excellent." Lin Ziheo instantly realized the contradiction in his words and quickly explained. "Yusheng said she wanted to take the college entrance exam with me. If she got a guaranteed admission, she would definitely have told me." "Exactly, Sister Yusheng, you wouldn't be making this up because you didn't pass, would you?" Lin Hairu stared at me with a pointed look. "Whether it's true or not, you'll know once you open the admission letter." "What?" Lin Hairu didn't react immediately. I said, "Open the admission letter in your hand." "It's mine, Su Yusheng, you're joking." Lin Ziheo frowned, seeing them dawdle. I snatched it and opened it myself. "The name on it is mine." "It really is. How could this be?" Lin Ziheo looked on in disbelief. "Lin Ziheo, you don't know yet, do you? Your admission has been revoked." I cheerfully delivered this devastating news to him. "Su Yusheng, stop trying to scare me. I got into the Foreign Affairs College." Lin Ziheo clearly didn't believe it. "If you don't believe me, then why haven't you received your admission letter yet?" I raised an eyebrow and said, "Ziheo, why did the school send a message saying you failed the physical exam and your admission has been revoked?" Wang Mei rushed in hurriedly holding her phone. "Mom, how could that be?" Even now, he clung to a sliver of hope. "Su Yusheng, it was you who pulled this stunt, wasn't it? Just to make me regret it, you actually pretended to be the school and sent my mom a text message." He turned his head sharply to confront me. "It must be you." Lin Hairu chimed in beside her. "Mom, Su Yusheng couldn't stand seeing my bite marks on brother, so she deliberately set up this scheme to trick you." "Auntie, it must be like this. Ziheo has already passed his physical exam. How could his admission possibly be revoked?" A classmate close to Lin Hairu spoke up. "Yusheng, is this really true?" Wang Mei still retained some rationality. "Heh," I sneered coldly at them. "If you don't believe me, I can look it up online." "Yeah," Lin Ziheo seemed to have grasped at a lifeline. "I'll look it up online." "Su Yusheng, what you're saying must be fake." A few minutes later, I watched as their expressions grew increasingly grim. It was clear they already knew the outcome. Lin Ziheo, who bore scars on his body, had indeed been disqualified from admission. Wang Mei slapped Lin Ziheo across the face. "Ziheo, didn't I tell you, don't mess around with all this nonsense? What did you do? I've worked so hard to raise you all these years, and now at the final moment, you dare to mess up." Wang Mei's cold, interrogative words left everyone present too afraid to even breathe loudly. "Auntie, I have something urgent at home, so I'll be leaving first." With the first person speaking up to leave, others soon followed suit one after another, bidding farewell and departing. In the end, only Lin Ziheo and his 3 friends remained in the private room with me. "Lin Hairu, didn't you tell me the scar on his collarbone was fake?" Wang Mei then turned her attention to Lin Hairu, who was trying to make herself as inconspicuous as possible. "Mom." Her voice trembled, stammering for a long time. "I didn't mean to deceive you." Her peripheral glance fell on me before she pointed the finger. "It's her, Mom." She knew but didn't report it. She was fully aware that having scars would disqualify her from admission, yet she kept it from us. "Mom, this is all her fault." "Auntie, I've already told them, but they don't believe me. There's nothing I can do." I spread my hands helplessly. Wang Mei knew my character and didn't press me further when she saw this. "Yusheng, this is our family matter, you should go now." "Okay, Auntie." After leaving the private room, I didn't leave immediately. Instead, I stood at the door, listening to the voices coming from inside. Wang Mei scolded angrily in a low voice. Lin Zihao, who gave you the nerve to have scars on your collarbone? Mom, I was wrong, I shouldn't have done that. Through the crack in the door, I could clearly see Lin Zihao kneeling. A crisp slapping sound rang out as Lin Zihao struck himself as if punishing himself. Standing nearby, Lin Hairu trembled like a sieve when she saw this scene. She instigated Lin Zihao to leave her scar on his collarbone, causing him to lose his admission qualification. Wang Mei would never let her, the culprit, off the hook. Sure enough, the next second, Wang Mei's slap landed on Lin Hairu's face. I didn't adopt you just so you could harm my son. Wang Mei's voice was icy. Mom, I was wrong. Lin Hairu immediately knelt down. Suddenly, my phone vibrated. The investigation results about me being beaten up had come in. I took a taxi to the police station. Uncle Huang, who is handling my case, informed me of the investigation results. There were 4 people who beat me up, exactly those 4 flamboyantly dressed youths. From their confessions, it was learned that they were instigated by Lin Hairu to attack me. Uncle Huang called me here now to understand if there was any grudge between me and Lin Hairu. I truthfully explained the relationship between me, Lin Hairu, and Lin Zihao. Uncle Huang, when do you plan to bring Lin Hairu? She should be arriving soon. So soon? I was somewhat surprised. Uncle Huang smiled but didn't say anything. About 10 minutes later, Lin Hairu arrived, followed by Lin Zihao. Su Yusheng, it's you again causing trouble. At that moment, Lin Zihao's face was swollen like a pig's head, but that didn't stop him from blaming me. Pfft, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Lin Zihao, who beat you up like this? I asked knowingly. Only then did Lin Zihao remember his face and quickly lowered his head. None of your business, officer. What did my little sister do wrong? Lin Zihao sat beside Lin Hairu, holding her hand to give her strength. What mistake? Uncle Huang asked sternly. She's accused of instigating others to engage in gang fights. Impossible, Lin Zihao instinctively retorted. My sister isn't that kind of person. Whether she's that kind of person or not isn't for you to decide with mere words. Uncle Huang directly produced the confession, audio recording, and surveillance footage. Lin Hairu turned deathly pale the moment she saw the evidence being presented. It must be said, Lin Hairu really kicked a steel plate by messing with me. Those young men she knew weren't exactly good people either, but at least he had the sense to record their conversation, providing solid evidence for the police. Lin Zihao stared at Lin Hairu in disbelief after reading it. Hairu, you did all this? Brother, I just couldn't stand how Su Yusheng treated you. Clearly you're her boyfriend, and you improved your grades entirely through your own efforts, yet because of her presence, you become what others call a kept man relying on her. Brother, I can't stand watching this anymore. Lin Hairu's eyes were reddened, her tears on the verge of falling, looking utterly heartbreaking. Lin Zihao was even more so. He hugged her to comfort her. Hairu, this isn't your fault. You did it all for me. Uncle Huang frowned in frustration at the sight. Now is not the time for you to comfort each other. Those who make mistakes must be punished. Su Yusheng, how much money do you want? Lin Zihao looked at me. I smiled faintly. Easy, she'll have to cover my medical expenses and compensation for emotional distress. Deal. Lin Zihao came from a wealthy family. This amount meant nothing to him. Seeing this, Uncle Huang stood up and left the room to give us space to discuss. 10 minutes later, I gleefully signed the settlement agreement while checking the balance on my phone. Lin Hairu, I hope you won't get caught by me the next time you do something bad. Lin Hairu glared at me resentfully and mouthed silently. Su Yusheng, just you wait. In my good mood, I ignored her. I wonder if Wang Mei knows that Lin Zihao came to clean up Lin Hairu's mess. Thinking of this, I immediately took out my phone and started typing furiously. Ever since I was suffocated to death in my previous life, I've developed a psychological shadow. Every night before going to bed, I check all the doors and windows and keep a fruit knife under my pillow. The drawer contains survival tools, and the door is barricaded with a table. In the middle of the night, I heard the sound of a key being inserted into my door. I instantly woke up and rushed to hide in the wardrobe, with my phone ready to dial the emergency number. At the slightest sign of trouble, I would press it immediately. The door was pushed a few times but didn't open. The sound of knocking and Lin Zihao's voice came simultaneously. Su Yusheng, come out here. Come out. I ignored it, and after half an hour, the noise outside faded away. I quietly tiptoed to the door to eavesdrop. My parents fawned over Lin Zihao, saying, Zihao, don't worry, once Yusheng wakes up, we'll definitely give her a good talking to. What's the point of locking the door? Not long after, the sound of the door closing signaled that Lin Zihao had left. My parents went back to their room to rest. I sat on the bed, opened my phone, and secretly rejoiced at the balance displayed on the screen, but the next second, dozens of messages from Lin Zihao flooded in. I skimmed through them. It all boiled down to one thing: Lin Hairu had attempted suicide by overdosing on sleeping pills again. Once more, Lin Zihao blamed everything on me and came demanding an explanation. I didn't reply to his message and immediately blocked all his contact information. The next day, when I woke up and walked out, seeing Lin Zihao and Wang Mei sitting in the living room, I froze on the spot. My mom, seeing me come out, snapped, "We have guests at home, and you didn't even bother to dress up." "Sorry about that. My Yusheng just woke up and might be a bit groggy." My dad covered for me. "It's alright." Wang Mei looked at me with gentle eyes. She waved me over. "Yusheng, come sit here with Auntie." Although I hate Lin Zihao and resent my parents, Wang Mei has been quite good to me, so I walked over and sat down beside her. Before I could even ask why they were here, my father cheerfully said, "Now that both parties are present, we can discuss their marriage." Hearing this, I widened my eyes in shock. "Marriage? With whom? Yusheng, why are you making such a fuss?" My mother shot me a reproachful glance. "Of course, it's between you and Zihao, Auntie. Lin Zihao and I have broken up. We're not getting married," I said firmly, yet Wang Mei seemed oblivious to my reluctance. "Yusheng, Auntie knows Zihao hurt you before, but rest assured, as long as you marry into our family, Auntie will give you a dowry of 200,000 yuan for you to take home, plus a car and an apartment." My parents' eyes lit up like cats spotting mice when they heard these terms. "Great, wonderful." My mother immediately agreed on my behalf. "It's perfectly normal for young couples to have little quarrels." "Auntie," I said, "I'm not marrying him." I pulled my hand away, stood up, and shouted. Lin Zihao angrily exclaimed, "Su Yusheng, what kind of attitude is that toward my mom, and when exactly did we break up? How come I didn't know about it?" "Ha," I mocked, "you've already been holding hands with Lin Hairu, hugging each other, and even left bite marks on her collarbone. Do you really think all of that is just innocent sibling behavior?" "The sound of rain is jealous." Wang Mei smiled gently. "Don't worry, I've already sent Lin Hairu abroad. She won't affect your relationship with Zihao." "And Wang Mei, I won't marry him. Give up." After saying that, I quickly walked into the room and locked the door behind me. My parents were outside, bowing and scraping as they apologized. I leaned against the door, tears silently streaming down my face. I had originally planned to leave only after receiving my college acceptance letter, but now it seems my plans will have to be moved up. Staying at home any longer might lead to my parents drugging me one day. They could drag me straight to the wedding venue. At this thought, I immediately started packing, sewing important documents into my clothes. Just as I finished packing, Wang Mei's voice outside faded away. My mom came over and kicked my bedroom door. "You ungrateful brat. How dare you reject such a good marriage proposal? He's rich, owns a car and a house. What exactly aren't you satisfied with? I'm warning you, whether you agree or not, this marriage is happening. If you dare run away, I'll break your legs." Listening to her mercenary words, my heart ached. They're both parents, so why do mine seem to love money more than they love me? I stayed in my room all evening without coming out. Fortunately, I had prepared in advance. There were compressed biscuits, chips, and other snacks in my room to stave off hunger. I woke up in the middle of the night, startled by the alarm clock. Glancing at the time, 3 a.m. At this hour, my parents were long sound asleep, perfect timing for me to sneak out. However, the moment I tried to open the door, I found the handle tied shut with rope and couldn't pull it open, even though I was mentally prepared. I still couldn't help feeling sad. Then, I went to the window. My apartment was on the 3rd floor, threw my luggage down, and slid down using the rope. After escaping from home, I didn't dare stay in the same city any longer. I went straight to the city next to the university. There, I rented a room and began my job search. My first job was tutoring, teaching high school students math, something I'm good at, that day. As usual, I was tutoring my student when they mysteriously pulled out their phone to show me a live stream. "Teacher, this is you, isn't it?" In the live stream, my parents and Lin Zihao were playing the victim. The background displayed my so-called misdeeds in red text. They knew full well that students at the Foreign Affairs College couldn't have scars. It would disqualify them during the physical exam, but to make Lin Zihao prove his love for me, I stubbornly left my teeth marks on his collarbone. While my parents were seriously ill, I actually stole money from home and ran away. Combining these two pieces of information, along with my parents' tearful suffering and Lin Zihao's numb expression, gained support from many people. They cursed me online and even doxed my current address. Seeing these, I was reminded of the unfamiliar calls I've been receiving these past few days. At first, I thought someone had posted my phone number on some flyers. Looking back now, those phone calls were probably from netizens standing up for them. "Teacher, I know you're not that kind of person," the student said with genuine sincerity. "That's why I'm secretly telling you, you shouldn't come to tutor me these next few days. It'd be best to resolve the issue as soon as possible." The student, seeing me lost in thought, quickly explained, "I'm not trying to chase you away, I just want you to solve the problem first." "I know," I said with a bitter smile, "I'll resolve the issue as soon as possible and come back to teach you earlier." With that, I put on my mask and left. Hope. Next time we meet, your grades will impress me. As I returned to the rental apartment, I spotted filthy sewage water pooling near the entrance before I even reached the door. Seeing this, I lowered my head and didn't go inside. That place was no longer safe now. Fortunately, I had made it a habit to carry all my important belongings with me whenever I went out. The tutoring sessions over the past month and Lin Ziheo's compensation have given me the ability to withstand risks. I found a hotel on the other side and rented it for a month, saving a few $100s. Looking at the public opinion online, I know what I need to do most now is to clarify things, so I began gathering evidence. During this time, online public opinion spread increasingly wider. My parents went viral overnight on the live stream, gaining millions of followers. They immediately started live streaming sales, and Lin Ziheo took this opportunity to create a separate account dedicated to posting his handsome videos. Many people discussed below why his ex-girlfriend was so cruel as to ruin someone's future. If they saw me, they would definitely scold me harshly. I compiled all the evidence I had collected. I also had a lawyer preserve evidence of their defamatory videos and screenshots targeting me. When the online frenzy reached its peak and they began to let their guard down, I registered a personal account. I made sure the username was clear and straightforward. "I am Su Yusheng." Netizens quickly discovered my account, and my follower count skyrocketed, with countless people sending me hateful private messages. I didn't pay much attention to it and instead started posting the evidence. My parents were live streaming sales, even blatantly pushing boundaries. I asked them if they were selling their daughter for money. These comments were quickly deleted by the live streaming assistant, but more and more people were sending bullet comments asking them, so many that they couldn't be deleted anymore. My mom got anxious and snapped angrily, "She's my daughter that I raised. Isn't it only right that she should be filial to me?" The next second, the live stream was cut off. I saw some netizens maintaining a neutral stance, while others commented, "The evidence might be fake." In response, I simply posted one piece of evidence after another. When the lawyer's letter reached my parents and Lin Ziheo, I received a text message from an unknown number. "Su Yusheng, don't go too far, you're no match for me, though." There was no name attached. I instinctively recognized it as Wang Mei. Indeed, Lin Ziheo's family is very wealthy, but I won't fight a battle unprepared. Not long after, Lin Ziheo's family company was reported by real name for tax evasion, and the whistleblower turned out to be Lin Hairu. This news immediately caused a huge uproar online. Lin Hairu is an ambitious woman. She would never be content staying abroad her whole life, so I leveraged her ambition, turning her into my sword against the Lin family. Once all my evidence was revealed, the previously unfavorable public opinion online instantly reversed in my favor. It rebounded onto my parents and Lin Ziheo's family. A week later in court, it was the first time I saw my parents since leaving home. They looked at me with hatred in their eyes. "Su Yusheng, you damned bastard, we gave you life and raised you, and you dare to sue us." My mom rushed over frantically and slapped me, and just as she was about to hit me again, the police stepped in to stop her. "Mom, Dad, if you really treated me as your daughter, how could you team up with Lin Ziheo to harm me?" My question caught them off guard for a moment, then they yelled, "Lin Ziheo can make us money, and you're nothing, you're a damned good for nothing, should have aborted you when I had the chance, save me the trouble of raising such a scourge." Hearing these words, I felt nothing inside. Any affection between us had been exhausted in my past life. I provided sufficient evidence, and in the end, they were sentenced to publicly apologize and compensate me for my financial losses. I knew making them pay was like tearing their hearts out, but they had no choice but to compensate. I will use this money to pay for my college education. As for Lin Ziheo's family company, the investigation results came out quickly. Tax evasion was confirmed. The relevant staff members were taken away for investigation. People were cursing under Lin Ziheo's account every day, perhaps due to excessive reports. His account was directly shut down. Lin Hairu handled my matter, and I gave her the money as agreed. Though I insisted on meeting in person for the transaction, however, before going, I had someone anonymously send Lin Zihao an address. When I arrived at the meetup location with Lin Hairu, I saw Lin Zihao being escorted by the police, his hands covered in blood. What happened? I pretended to ask curiously, turning to an auntie nearby. Ah, what a sin, young as he is, who knows what's going on in his head. Just like that, he rushed in with a fruit knife and stabbed someone. Tell me, what kind of grudge could drive someone to do that? The blood, it was everywhere. Through the window, I caught sight of Lin Hairu lying on the ground, and a surge of satisfaction washed over me. Lin Zihao turned his head suddenly as he approached the police car. Our eyes met, and I curled the corners of my lips at him. My revenge was complete. Lin Zihao struggled violently, trying to charge forward, but was restrained by the police. School started in September, and I arrived at my dream university filled with the joy of rebirth. Looking at the vibrant campus, I smiled brightly. My future was still long. After hearing the 2 stories above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.